Hello, my name is Shuttle and welcome back for another episode of Victoria 3 as Ethiopia. In previous episode we declared war on Marina, which called in Britain and Portugal. Now, I think Britain will be pushed out of the war in the not too distant future. Probably in a year or two. And then it's just a matter of beating the Portuguese down here. I mean, once we get into Zambezia, I mean, technically speaking, what I could do, speed things up. So we got our fleet. Let's just go ahead and take our fleet, do a landing, because they are fighting over there. Let's do a landing in the south over here, with one of the armies that isn't in use right now, so I suppose Bekele Melekot will do. It's going to take 50 days for the invasion to be sort of prepared, but at that point we can just advance a lot in here, because I believe they are focusing most of the troops down that way. And if they have some defenders, like one battalion more or less, so that is going to allow us to do a few more things. We got some inactive trade routes. Oh, to British market. I wonder why. It's not like we're at war or something. Wait. It is. We need more convoys to export fabrics and importing iron. Okay, so I suppose that's one of the things that we are doing, which is helping a little bit with the iron situation. So how long does it take for you to do the landing? Preparing for another 30 days. So about a month. We're still actually making money, which is quite nice. That means that at least we're not losing too much. But yeah, doing the landings over there will help us a lot. I mean, there's so many battalions over here that the Portuguese holdings over here will be overrun, no doubt. And then Portugal will probably drop out of the war soon enough after. British are occupying Dahomey, but are they fighting a second war? Or is this all just one war? No, they are fighting two wars. One versus a lot of the African nations, and Russia. And the other one versus me and the French. Right, but if we can get some territory over here, especially Zambezia, then we can get our... well, oh, we got election season. Let's have a... Okay, so Agrarian Party and Liberal Party are going to be the ones that are getting votes. The Conservative Party is getting no votes whatsoever. Alright. Right, how long until the landing? 7 days. Okay, so we're practically almost there. And then we can start basically just steamrolling over all of this. Again, this is an area that I will want to conquer at some point. If we can't... well, I'm sure that we can get southern Madagascar. Oh, there we go. We'll land it in. It's going to be brilliant. We can just conquer all of that. Well, at least a decent chunk of that. While this battle is still going on. Because that is tying up most of the enemy troops in here. They have, well, 2/3 of the enemy troops in this entire region. Because I don't know if the enemies are sending in troops from this front. Probably not. We're just going to clear out the southern half first. We already started capturing some of the areas that they... well, will be taking from the Portuguese. And, you know, having this extra area for producing some iron, they don't have any iron mines there, but there's a lot of peasants available. There's also got arms industry and glassworks there, oddly enough. Oh, we could have rubber plantations over there as well. Right, so we're just conquering all of that. This battle is still going on. Oh, they're down to 9 battalions, the Portuguese, and they lost... almost 9,000 men. Holy crap. Now, most of those are wounded, but still, there's 1,700 dead, compared to the 400 wounded Frenchmen. France is no OP. Well, maybe they are a little bit. In the meanwhile, we've conquered most of the state already, that will be taken from the Portuguese. So the war support is plummeting, the British war support is not doing great either. The Portuguese are, well, they got 69 war support still. But it's going about 2 per week right now, and is that... oh, yeah, they're about to win that combat. The French, that is. And when do we get another naval base? We are working on getting a second one soon. Luckily, the British haven't started sinking our convoys. I do wonder, though, if I should start sinking the British convoys. Would that be wise? Hold on a minute. We pause for a moment. So East India Company is not part of the British market. Which market are they part of? No, they're part of their own market. Okay, that makes sense. So, I don't know, I mean, if we sink convoys over here, maybe that could be a potential. I suppose, yeah, that would be sinking a lot of convoys going to Australia. Now, that is a sure way to attract the enemy fleet, though, so I don't know if that's the best thing. I mean, it would maybe reduce some of the things that they get and start increasing unrest in their nation. Other than that, it's not really going to be that much, and I know that our fleets wouldn't be able to withstand any proper fighting or against the enemy. Right, reduce the troops over there down to 125 battalions. I wonder whether... Oh, hold on a minute. Did the British by chance land in France? No. The French haven't landed in Britain either. They got all troops going in here so they can conquer more of that area. And that is empty front. That is an empty front. So, how are the Portuguese doing now? 64 war support. The British have 54. So, I think the Britain will probably be still the first one to drop out. Although, the more and more we conquer from the Portuguese, the less likely they're going to be... Oh, right, that's where our armies are. Just holding the enemies back. Where most of their troops are now. And, oh, yeah, there's another victory. And that one's going to be overrun. Coalition coupons. Let's see, momentum for the Conservative Party. Government interest group approval minus 2 opposition interest group approval. And OP's... Oh. With the Ethiopia Mirror Kingdom war going well, the country is swept up in a frenzy of war. The sitting Conservative Party has issued letters of endorsement to parliamentary candidates they feel support the war effort, drawing patriotic voters towards their cause. I mean, I'm pretty sure that they won't get all that much votes anyway. Oh, right, they'll be losing some popularity regardless. You know what, I'm gonna go for the... You know what, no, we're gonna go give them a little bit of momentum. Even if that means that they won't get any votes still. Because I'm pretty sure, if we have a look at the situation here, their momentum is still minus 88%. So, well, I mean, they are gonna get a little bit of votes there, I suppose. But it's not gonna be massive. And the French are beating back the Portuguese over there quite nicely. Over here, we're getting some reinforcements. No landings done in Marina yet. But it is pretty obvious that our side is gonna win this war. Although the war support between myself and Marina is almost the same. The British war support is down to 47. And how much are they losing? They're losing about 1.8. Whereas the Portuguese are losing 2.02. So, in theory, the Portuguese might take up or catch up with the British with that. So they might actually step out of the war sooner rather than later. Oh, right, I can't attack in there because there's only one province that is fighting in, and, well, that's going to be done very shortly anyway. Devoured Scandal. Force him to step down, I suppose. I don't know how much of an impact that's going to have the interest group, though. They are still happy. So they still give us the plus 10% authority. There we go, that's been overrun. Now we'll have some troops over here pushing forward. I don't know if we'll... Oh, they got 16 battalions there. Oh wait, no, that's our allies pushing forward. Where's our army then? Is it back home? Yeah, it's back home. Never mind. Well, we managed to occupy a lot of this land for sure. The French took a little bit in few locations, but most of that is occupied by us. And now that's done as well. So all of our armies are idle. Well, that's actually fine. That means a lot less attrition. Oh, but our convoys are being sunk now. Where are they sinking our convoys, though? There's probably convoys going all the way to France, so they're probably sinking them somewhere around... Oh, yeah, over there. Alright, well, that's a bit of a problem. I'll admit. We've gotten at least one extra flotilla now, so that's good. And we've gotten the chemical plant over here. Oh, right, it's not really producing a lot. We can start producing a bit of explosives at least. Although it's gonna... Oh, it's gonna require coal, which we don't have yet. So I guess we won't be producing explosives yet. No, we will be producing all that much fertilizers. We are working on getting the improved fertilizer, though, and also the dynamite. Once we get both of those, then that's gonna increase the explosive use and the fertilizer use. So the chemical plant will be profitable at that point, I hope. Right now, of course, not a lot. So we're losing convoys left, right, and center, which isn't great. But how's the Portuguese? They're down to 43 war support, and the British are down to 36. So both of them are losing war support quickly enough, and I think British will step out of the war as soon as they reach negative, or at least 0 war support. The British are actually recapturing some lands there. They got 118 battalions in the Sahara. So that's a bit of a problem. And I'm absolutely certain that I would not be able to land troops into Madagascar yet. Oh. What's this? A Mari peasant revolt. Okay. There's probably the... No, over there. Alright. Well, they can do what they do. Did we ever increase the... We have increased our relations with Egypt before. They're currently cautious, though. I suppose after this war, we don't actually need to worry about Egypt all that much, at least for the time being. So we can still let that be. The election is going to end soon. There's still an oligarchy by the industrialists. I have a feeling that they will probably give that up sooner rather than later. Basically, we're just waiting for the French to do a landing in Madagascar, but before that happens, we just need to wait for the other nations to step out. A gentler Ethiopia. A peaceful nation now? That would increase popularity a little bit. Decrease infamy by 5. Oh, now that would actually be smart. Sure, we're peaceful. See, we're not even fighting a war. Our troops are back at home. The French, on the other hand, they're the warmongers. Agrarian Party and Liberal Party are the two biggest ones. I could probably pull in both of them into government. Right, so let's reform this. Push out the Conservatives and the Church. Bring the Liberal Party. So that's going to give us 70% legitimacy. And now we've got some laws that we could try passing. Now, how many of those would actually, you know, we could manage to pass? Okay, landowners are going to be a problem. We could maybe do the appointed bureaucrats. That is going to increase the tax capacity by 25%. And also reduce the landowners' power. There's, of course, a few other options that we have. Oh, actually, is there... We could try to go for the professional military, but that doesn't seem like it's going to be very likely to succeed right now. The healthcare we don't actually need to worry about. Colonial exploitation might be okay, although intelligentsia would be radicalized up by that. So that could be a problem. We could try to reduce the slavery. I mean, we could go for the... If we go for the legacy slavery, the landowners would lose some power from that. So I'm almost tempted to go for that one. There's a few things that we can do to reduce the nobility, or the power of theirs. Of course, interventionalism would be another thing. Would allow us to invest, or the investment pool would be used on more things, basically. And that would be quite useful. Of course, the rural folk would hate that. Landowners would hate that. It's 14% chance of success, though, so I'm gonna take it. It's very low chances, but most of the things are fairly low chances right now, anyway. We're losing £10,000 now per week, but we got a cash reserve of 1.4 million, so that will last us for at least a little bit longer. And how is the battles over here? Oh, the British are bringing a lot more battalions in the fights here. So let's have a look at the situation. So the British are down to 23 war support, Portuguese 27. So I have a feeling that sooner or later, or the British will step out of the war and Portugal will follow very shortly afterwards. And then it's just a matter of do a landing in Madagascar. We'll send in some troops once the French do the landing. And, you know, after that we can just get the southern Madagascar and enjoy the victory. Then start building all the coal mines that we can, basically. And also the iron mines in Zambezia. Although iron isn't that bad right now, but, you know, we'll probably want to get some iron mines regardless. Oh, and actually, one thing that we never did over here is increase the port sizes in these two. Hedgehouse is still over the limit quite a bit. We are building another port in there. I suppose we could put in a third one there. And then, now that we are getting closer and closer to winning the war, we'll start building a steel mill. We'll reorganize some of the construction queue later, but right now it can be as a... Well, you know, we'll increase that in the priority a tiny bit. And we'll maybe put in the steel mill a little bit higher as well. Right, so the war... Our revolt over here is going to be probably dealt quite swiftly. In the meanwhile, we've got a bit of combat going over here. Are we actually losing that battle? No, we're not. The British are taking heavy casualties there. Now, we do have 1.6 million radicals, though, so after we win this war and take 2 new states, the radical numbers are probably going to be fairly high. So we'll probably need to take a bit of time to just pacify things a little bit. To put it mildly. The reason why I want to get the inventionism is, though, that we can start using the investment pool for a lot of things, because there is 700,000 waiting in there. Oh. Oh, yeah, the French are landing. Alright, well, there's the landing that I was waiting for. Alright, let's go ahead and send in the other 2 armies. Not the biggest one, but the 2 smaller ones. I'm pretty sure that they are now back to full strength. You got the defensive strength there, so I'm just going to send you there just in case. I don't think they'll be attacking, let's be honest. And then I'm going to send you to support on that attack as well. There is more troops incoming. The Portuguese are sending some troops in here. And we got some troops going in there, of course. The French are, of course, pushing the enemies back quite effectively. They got a little bit of troops in the reserves there. Or the conscript battalions helping there, but it's not going to be that massive boost for them. It doesn't seem like the attacks are taking that much land. I could, of course, do my own landing in the south. But how quickly we'd be able to get stuff, I don't know. Oh. Timbuktu Togo front is empty right now, okay. How soon can we expect the... Oh, the Portuguese are... Well, if we put in the Zambezia, they probably won't surrender. Oh, right, then now at -6. The British are -8 war support. So the British will probably step out soon. Oh, yeah, there we go. Just in time. So that frees up a lot of troops from the French to join. Oh, wow. Oh. Okay, we got high attrition there. Is that because we don't have the supply network? And oh, yeah, that might be part of the problem. So we got pretty high attrition in Madagascar right now. But, you know, the enemy is probably going to surrender soon enough. Portuguese have brought in some troops. Oh, egalitarianism unlocked. Excellent. Although that does increase the minimum expected standard of living for anyone with the literacy. But the French are doing most of the work for us here. Oh, psychiatry is increasing or spreading. Okay, good. Embargo between France and Britain ended. Oh, but now we can start trading with the British again. That's going to give us a lot of money. Oh, recurrent convoys, about 800. And apparently North Germans are moving into West Virginia. Right, we've got one defending in there. We've got one attacking over here as well. But yeah, there's only 2 defending this side. And oh, hey, we are actually the ones attacking now. Well, ain't that lovely. Took a little bit casualties, but the enemies took more. And over here, the French are doing most of the work. But yeah, the French have brought in a lot of troops, let's put it that way. So I have a feeling that the Portuguese will probably surrender soon. Zambezi, how much is this one? Because mine's 11, so they don't want to do that yet. If we just put all of that in there, the Portuguese, we can see how soon they'll be surrendering, and it's not that far off. And now that there's, well, they are bringing a little bit of Portuguese troops over here for the southern front, but it's going to take a while for them to actually arrive in there, I see. So we've got some combats going on, and the main bulk of the enemy forces are sort of stuck on the peninsula over here right now. But yeah, overall this war has been pretty successful. Of course, we're just relying on the AI to do the work for us, basically. I mean, we're doing a little bit of work ourselves, just not a lot. Oh, they want to preserve agrarianism. That's 10% radicalism. Oh, and a lot of the general... Oh, there we go. Portugal surrendered. So we call this area here. There is a fair bit of turmoil and devastation. I'm not going to incorporate this state, most likely, but I will start making some iron mines. We could maybe get some farms as well, like a millet farm in here. Just make sure that it's going to be using the... Yeah, it's going to be using the bit stuff. Just to make sure that if there's not a lot of... we're not actually using that much infrastructure yet. So put those in. We'll also build a port or 2 in here. And we might build some barracks over here eventually. Not yet, though. But eventually. Oh, and is there room for... No, there's no forestries that could be built in here. Is there any over here in the next one? There is logging camps over there. And also over here. So we just hit the area that doesn't have forests yet. I mean, there's a rubber plantations, I suppose, but that's about it. Right, so it looks like Madagascar is, or Marina is probably going to be surrendering fairly shortly. The war support is plummeting. They're losing 5 points per week. And the sooner we conquer most of this, the better. So that we can start building our coal mines. But yeah, if we start increasing the... our authority has been dropping. I suppose what we could do... is the standard of living over here? It's 10 right now, so we're going to cancel the emergency relief right now, I suppose. We're incorporating states, so that's going to increase the infrastructure, which means that they'll have a bit more resources to access to. We've got 2 million radicals, though. Oh, right. I think we're going to give this one round. If it doesn't pass, or increase the chances, then we'll stop the interventionism. Because that seems to be causing a bit of radicals, and I'd rather avoid too heavy radicalism right now. Oh, we got interventionism. Okay, well, the landowners are a bit radical, and those are... Yeah, there's a fair bit of support for that. What I suppose I should do is have a look at the things... So, landowners are indeed rather unhappy right now. Everyone else seems to be either neutral or loyal. Or at least happy with the petty bourgeoisie over here, which does increase the bureaucracy. That is quite useful. And the capitalist investment pool and the production tech... Oh, right, Agrarian Party is... or the rural folk are one of the bigger ones here. They are not particularly loyal, because they oppose the interventionism, but they also support a lot of the things that we do have. If we look at the laws over here, so the slave trade is something that I would like to ban, but at the same time, I don't want to have a rebellion from the nobility right now. So probably anything that angers the nobility is a no-no. We could go for the colonial exploitation, but that would anger the rural folk, which isn't great. We've got 18% chance of succeeding that one, at least. But yeah, no, I think it might just be best for us to... Actually, we could go for the racial segregation. That would allow us to have a bit more accepted cultures, which overall should mean a bit less radicals. But that's also 11% chance of success. But, I mean, there's a fairly high chance of... well, there's a lot of cloud that is not... or does not care about this law, let's put it that way. Yeah, we're going to go for that. That's going to reduce our bureaucracy quite a bit, although it's not that massive impact on our taxes. Less than 1%. Right, I think what we're going to do is we're just going to take our navy and do another landing in South Madagascar. One of the generals that is not doing... well, I suppose we've got only one general that isn't doing anything. You know what? We could actually take the defending one over there. So let's get a little bit less troops in here on the front, but that's fine. I mean, we are probably winning this before we even get there. Raising concerns. How good is the loyalty from the industrialists? It is 14 right now. You could get a petite bourgeoisie a little bit more loyal again. Probably wouldn't hurt. Although the bonuses from the... I mean, the extra bureaucracy isn't bad. I don't remember what sort of things they support, though. So that might be an issue in the long run. Right, fertilizer is almost done. Credit where credit's due. We could increase the industrial pop attraction or trade union. I'm going to go with the industrialist. They are quite useful for us right now, at least in terms of the laws that they want to push. Well, there we go, domestic product is increasing. How far are we from getting the iron mines? They're still pretty far away. And the millet farms and the port. Alright, so how bad is the turmoil in here? 67%. Devastation is going down. Oh, there we go. Got South Madagascar, and we've got 2.6 million radicals. Okay, well, one thing that we're going to do, first things first, is we're going to start building some coal mines. We'll build 5 of them. Also, we're going to build some ports. But once we... oh, and we could probably build a couple barracks in here, just to be on the safe side. So we'll have a little bit of troops in the Tangier area. Right, so now we've got troops. Let's go ahead and set up at least one of the coal mines to be right on the top. That's going to be pushed up a little bit. We're going to push that next to the iron mines here. Look at some ports still being made and all that. But that's going to be taking 15 weeks for the coal mines. But once we can have a coal mine... also, how bad is the infrastructure? Well, it's 0% right now, but it's probably just going to take a week to recalculate. And then we'll have at least about 60%, I presume. I assume that we do have enough convoys. Actually, we don't have quite enough, but it shouldn't have... man, is there really no market access in here? I suppose since there is no port, it might be a bit of a problem. So in that case, what we should probably do is go ahead and pull... is this one in... no, that's in Zambezia. So it's on the next page. Oh yeah, after the coal mines. I'm going to pull that to the top. Although what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the coal mine be first, then the port, then we're going to get some more tool and work. So let's actually have a look at the resource. How bad are the prices? We need a lot more sulfur, and a lot more lead and services, and some small arms. Although we have increased the small arms production now. Is this one producing... it's still using muskets, but it's using smooth bores, which needs more steel. We don't have any steel yet, so let's go for that one. Oh, and this one doesn't have a lot of good market access either. Yeah, 0%. Okay, so we just need to get the ports built for those two, I suppose. So we can start getting the stuff out of there. Or in and out of there. Right, so people are improving relations with us. I should probably do the same. Especially as it goes to... the French still like us. They're genial, amicable. We could join the customs union. Oh, and the Britain also is... well, we can't improve relations with them all that much. Because we don't have enough points. Never mind. Inefficient agriculture. Farms in Gondor, we could increase the migration attraction. Upper strata become more radical. The upper strata is usually small, but they have a lot of influence. So it can be a bit of bad. I have a feeling that the loyalists will start increasing now. Once we get the coal mine, I mean, first of all, we'll need to be able to bring the stuff from the coal mine here. We got the furniture manufacturing in here. Do we have any tools in this area? I don't think we do. We've got almost 1 million people over here as well. But now we at least will have some coal mines. It's just a matter of getting the port in here and then we can start shipping that back home. Right now it's a bit limited though. The logging camp, I mean, there's not really that many things that we could do over here. right now that would fix issues, or start using the coal. So that means that the coal mine is probably not going to be very profitable at the get-go. We are getting 14,000 from the investment pool transfers though, so that's useful. That's mostly because we got the port being built there. And once that is being built with full speed, it's probably going to increase... Oh, there we go, improved fertilizer completed. Research, we'll get the dynamite done. Well, let's just go ahead and... Technically speaking, I could just use the base building stuff, but I'm just going to go with state by state right now, because I know that some of the areas don't have good access yet for the stuff. So over here, if we increase the fertilizer use, it's going to increase the grain production a lot. Also, substitution is going to increase. Less slaves and clergymen and more farmers. That's also pretty decent. We're going to do the same over here. And over here. I suppose we'll also do it on this side, on the wheat farms. So that's also going to reduce the amount of slaves used a lot. Which does also help a lot with the standard of living, because the slaves, generally speaking, have basically no standard of living. Did we ever increase? Yeah, we did go for the intensive grazing over here. But how is the infrastructure level in here? It's only 59%. We are improving that slowly but surely. And once we get the steel mill up and running, we should actually go ahead and... Is there still room for more? There might still be a little bit more room for stuff in here. We're going to get a motor industries, and then we'll start building our train network. And we'll have coal as well to increase the steel production. But that was some of the fertilizer stuff. Of course, there is more things that we could do. For example, over here, we still got the millet farms at... Yeah, I'll put those to fertilizer. Or the advanced fertilizer use. Is there any other things that use it? I think that is mostly it. Just the sort of food farms. That means, well, once we have these with some sort of market access, then we can start bringing in, or improving the farming over there as well. Oh, this one's not using anything. Oh, hold on a minute. What we can do is we can switch you to intensive grazing. So we'll have some fertilizer in here. We're going to go maybe for the middle option there. So that's going to increase the production quite a bit. We don't have any tools there yet, though, so that's going to be taking a bit of time. So you want to restore agrarianism, the landowners. We do have a lot of clout. And national supremacy. Preserve, okay. So we've got a lot of, well, some movements that are increasing in radicalism. But I suppose if we can get the landowners not be quite as pissed at us, we could maybe reduce the... Oh, yeah, it's actually going down, the radicalism over there now. So that is good. I suppose also since we have a little bit more... Or a little bit less slaves, rather. So that is going to increase the standard of living, which reduces the radicalism and hopefully increase the loyalism as well. Or the loyalty to our state over here. So we could increase the fertilizer production even further. But I don't think, well... I suppose we could do that. Of course, I don't know if this one's... Oh, that is lacking in sulfur production, but I don't know if it uses... Oh, it does use sulfur, never mind. To some degree, at least. But now it uses more iron. But of course, the sulfur production is still what it is. And I believe we don't actually have any of the coal yet in our market. We can, of course, import some. Although we don't have the admin for that, actually. So yeah, we got the coal mine, but I suppose it was just completed. And I don't believe they are actually producing anything. Well, they're producing one over here, but it's just not very high demand. And another thing that we can do with the coal, I suppose, is go for the gas street lighting. That's going to increase the service produced a lot. It will cost us a bit, admittedly. But we need a lot of services. And over here, of course, it's not in that high demand. But once we have this actually linked up to the main market, which is just waiting for the port to be done, really, then we'll be able to get the coal elsewhere. We can start using the coal for various productions, especially around here for the mining. For the lead mine, for example, if we go for the atmospheric engine, it's going to require a lot of coal, but it's going to increase the lead production. And of course, it's also going to increase the tool consumption, which isn't quite as great. One thing that I suppose I should do, though, is switch this to the iron tools. Going to increase the tool production a lot. Reduce the labor usage. Oh, well, I mean, the employment is going to be the same, but the amount of laborers used is going to be less. Because the laborers don't usually produce that much profit. Now we get the port over here. There we go. So that should increase the, yeah, 63% market access. So now we'll have at least a little bit of coal being made. Or being brought into the market, although it's not really showing it. Oh, no, there it is. So we have 11 buy orders. We have basically no production, though. But, oh, screw frigate done. Excellent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in the lead mines, increase the production there. Oh, actually, no, one thing that I should probably do first is go over the sulfur mines. Get the atmospheric engine there. It's going to require a bit more coal and more tools. It's going to start producing a lot more sulfur, which we are needing sort of desperately. But with that, we are also out of time for this episode. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also got the links down below in the description. But other than that, thank you very much for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.